Hey, what is up everyone? MKBHD here.
John from TLD, how's it going, guys?
Hey guys, Jonathan here, and after a cancelled flight and a sleepover at LAX, I finally made it to WWDC where they debuted iOS 10, and with that, we're going to go over 25 of the coolest features. So number one is hands down the best feature that Apple didn't even talk about on stage, and this is the ability to finally delete stock applications. Now after the news broke, everyone was like, yo, Apple, why didn't you talk about this? That's amazing. But if you think about it, this is almost like a parent knowing they were wrong and the kid was right. It's not something you can openly admit, but one day when the kid's not looking, you change it and act like nothing happened. On a serious note, whether or not Apple talked about this on stage, the fact that you can now finally delete stock applications is awesome. So number two is raise to wake, and this is pretty straightforward. You simply raise your phone to view notifications. Now this is meant to remedy the speed of Touch ID, which in certain cases can be a little too fast, especially when you want to touch the home button just to see your notifications and somehow blow by it unlocked inside your phone. Now without having to do that or pressing the sleep wake button, you'll have access to your notifications.
I just raise my wrist and my phone wakes up just like that.
Number three is a redesigned notification screen, which not only looks immensely better, it's also more functional because finally there's the ability to clear all notifications from within that screen. Number four are the improvements to 3D touch, and this applies to both the notification screen and the home screen. And this is really cool because on the home screen, you'll be able to use widgets within the app that allow you to never need to fully open it. Now features 5 through 12 all share a common theme, and that is messages, which no doubt stole the show today. For starters, before we even jump into the features, emojis are now 3 times bigger. I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb that when something is 3 times larger, it's usually better. In certain cases that's not true, but in this instance, I think we're all on board with bigger emojis. So going down that list, emojification is number 5, which is crazy that that's a thing. But what iOS 10 does is search through your words and find the ones that are best suited to be replaced, and then from there, you simply tap and you can replace those with emojis. Now as ridiculous as this sounds, I was genuinely excited and happy to see this because it's a little different out there, but I do apologize in advance to all the parents out there because as soon as iOS 10 drops, the world is about to change. Number 6 is bubble effect, which is a little silly sounding, and honestly I think dynamic messaging bubbles is an easier way to describe it. But the idea with this is to be able to express feeling through your text message. So if you've ever wanted to say yummers or come on over at 7, now you can. Number 7 is the ability to send a handwritten message, and this is cool if you're able to write neatly and legibly, but for me, my writing is about as sloppy as a left-handed cat, so I am more than likely just going to confuse some people. Number 8 are full screen animations, and I think this is one of those features where it's going to be cool for the first day, but honestly something you never use again. Number 9 is what Apple calls invisible ink, and the idea with this is to add a little mystery and suspense to the message you're sending, so the person on the other side initially has no idea what's coming through. Oh my god, what is that? Thank god I thought it was something else. And as different and unique as this, it does have the potential to be a little bit dangerous. Number 10 is what Apple calls tap back, and this is one of 6 replies that allows you to respond quickly, but if you think about it, this is really just a glorified gift-wrapped K. Number 11 is personal touch, and if you've ever written out that perfect message and thought to yourself, man, this really needs a fireball, a sketch, or a heartbeat, but couldn't do it, now you can. Coming in at number 12 are stickers, and this is actually part of the new App Store for iMessage, and the idea here is you're going to be able to spice up your messages by adding them to the bubbles, not just sending them separately, but actually adding them onto the text themselves. Moving on to number 13, Siri is finally open to developers, which is awesome because now you can use her for more than just stock applications. So with this, you'll be able to use Siri to call for an Uber, to start tracking your steps on something like Argus, or even something like, hey Siri, launch YouTube. So number 14 are the improvements to the phone app, and it's a little scary that phone app sounds a little bit foreign considering we use our phones for literally everything but calling these days. So with iOS 10, it'll now transcribe your voicemails, and what's also rad is that VoIP apps are now natively supported. So if you're getting an external call from a VoIP application, it's going to look just like it would from a normal phone call. Moving down the list, we are hopping over to Maps, and number 15 are proactive suggestions.
Google Maps had that first.
Number 16 with Maps is the ability to search within your route.
Google Maps has also been doing that for a while.
And number 17, you now have the ability to make reservations within Apple Maps.
So it's just like Google Maps.
Moving on to photos. At number 18, live photos now have built-in image stabilization and the ability to edit, because we all know there are way too many live photos out there in the world like this. Now number 19 is the ability to edit raw photos, which makes a ton of sense with the iPad Pro lineup. 20 is a smarter search, which allows you to search for photos by not only people, but also places and things in them. Now, number 21 is what Apple calls memories, which takes relevant photos, pictures, videos, and locations and compiles them into one sappy montage.
That is Google Photos.
Closing out the list at number 22 is a completely redesigned Apple Music. 23 is a completely redesigned News app. 24 is a brand new application from Apple called Home, which essentially is your central hub to control everything smart in your house. That was definitely not the most exciting thing at WWDC, but it looks really good, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Lastly, at number 25 is Apple Pay has finally made its way to the web. Now, this is a little tricky because it's technically something you would do on your computer through macOS Sierra, but until Touch ID makes its way to the Mac, you're still going to need your phone to complete the transaction, which is why it's a huge deal in iOS 10. So aside from that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did and you are feeling like being awesome, make sure to go MKBHD on that like button, and make sure to check out his video with a complete recap on WWDC. This is Jonathan, and I will catch you guys later.
Just like Google Maps.